Life is a journey, and within it lies the incredible power to transform ourselves into the best version we can be. What if I told you that small, intentional changes could reshape not only your habits, but your entire outlook on life? Change doesn't have to be overwhelming or elusive. In fact, the most profound transformations often stem from the simplest of habits practices that anyone can adopt, regardless of where they are in their life. What I'm about to share isn't some complicated roadmap or a quick fix. It's a collection of realizations and actionable steps that can help you take control of your future. We often hear that change takes months, even years. While that's true for some aspects of life, what if you could lay the foundation for a better tomorrow in just 1 week? What if, by committing to small, consistent adjustments, you could create a ripple effect that propels you toward your goals with newfound energy and clarity? This isn't just a hypothetical question, it's a reality I've experienced. And I'm here to guide you through it. And think about the habits that shape your current life. Every action, big or small, is a result of the systems you've created over time. Your morning routine, the way you handle challenges, and even the thoughts that occupy your mind are products of these systems. The challenge isn't that we lack the desire to improve. It's that we often focus on monumental changes while ignoring the transformative power of the small, intentional steps we take daily. The first habit that changed everything for me was mastering the art of focus. In a world full of distractions, the ability to concentrate on what truly matters is a superpower. Too often we allow external influences to dictate our priorities. Notifications, endless to-do lists, and the pull of instant gratification rob us of the ability to dedicate time and energy to the things that align with our values and long-term goals. But when you shift your focus to what truly matters, when you learn to say no to distractions, you begin to harness the immense power of intentionality. Focus is about more than eliminating distractions. It's about creating space for what's important. It's choosing progress over perfection, clarity over chaos, and purpose over procrastination. This doesn't happen overnight, but with small, deliberate actions like setting boundaries with your time, identifying your top priorities, and dedicating even a few minutes daily to meaningful work, you can take control of your focus. And when you do, the results are incredible. Alongside focus comes the habit of embracing small wins. It's tempting to aim for big, dramatic transformations, but the truth is that lasting change comes from the accumulation of small, consistent victories. Each small win, whether it's completing a single task, following through on a commitment, or making a healthier choice, creates momentum. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. The more you commit to small actions, the more they build upon one another, turning into something far greater than the sum of their parts. Celebrating these small wins reminds us that progress is happening even when the end goal feels far away. It shifts our mindset from frustration to gratitude, from doubt to belief. When you focus on the small steps you can take each day, you transform the way you approach challenges and opportunities. You begin to see that big achievements are not the result of extraordinary talent or resources, they're the result of consistent effort over time. As your journey continues, you'll realize the importance of feeding your mind with positivity. Just as your body depends on healthy food for strength and vitality, your mind requires nourishing thoughts, ideas, and influences to thrive. In a world saturated with negativity, choosing what to consume, whether it's the media you engage with, the people you surround yourself with, or even the way you talk to yourself, is a critical act of self-care. Positivity isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's about approaching them with resilience and hope. It's about seeking inspiration from books, podcasts, or conversations that expand your perspective and motivate you to grow. It's about practicing gratitude daily, even in the smallest of moments, and reminding yourself of the abundance in your life. If feeding your mind with positivity is like planting seeds of growth that flourish over time, creating a mindset that empowers rather than limits you. Equally crucial is the habit of auditing your environment. Your surroundings, both physical and social, profoundly influence your mindset and behavior. A cluttered space can lead to a cluttered mind, just as negative relationships can drain your energy and enthusiasm. Taking the time to evaluate your environment is a powerful step toward creating a life that supports your goals. Consider the people in your life. Are they uplifting and supportive, or do they pull you into cycles of doubt and negativity? Your relationships shape your thinking more than you might realize. Surrounding yourself with positive, driven individuals can inspire you to aim higher and believe in your potential. Likewise, transforming your physical space, decluttering, organizing, and designing it to reflect your aspirations can create a sense of calm, focus, and purpose. Lastly, one of the most transformative habits you can adopt is ending each day with reflection. Reflection is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's a moment to pause, evaluate, and learn from your experiences. What went well today? What could have been better? What will you do differently tomorrow? These questions create a cycle of growth and self-awareness, turning each day into a stepping stone toward your larger goals. Reflection isn't just about identifying wins or losses. It's about celebrating progress and cultivating gratitude. It's about acknowledging the lessons hidden in challenges and using them to refine your path forward. By taking a few minutes each evening to reflect, you'll find clarity, direction, and a renewed sense of purpose for the days ahead. Together, these 5 habits form a framework for change that is both simple and profound. They remind us that transformation doesn't require monumental effort or extraordinary circumstances. It starts with small, intentional action steps that anyone can take regardless of where they are on their journey. The path to a better life isn't paved with perfection. It's paved with consistency, self-awareness, and the willingness to grow. When you master your focus, celebrate small wins, feed your mind with positivity, audit your environment, and end your day with reflection, you're not just changing your habits, you're changing your mindset, your outlook, and your future. These habits have the power to transform not just your week, but your entire life, one intentional step at a time. Starting your day with intentional action is like planting the seed for the life you want to create. The way you begin your morning sets the tone for the rest of your day. Think of it as the foundation of a house. If it's solid, everything built on top will stand firm. Most people wake up and let the day pull them in every direction. They check their phones, rush to get ready, and dive into the chaos without a clear plan. But if you want to change your life in a meaningful way, even in as little as a week, you have to be deliberate about how you start your day. When you wake up with intention, you're telling yourself and the world that you're in control. This doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire morning routine in one go, but you do need to make purposeful choices that align with your goals. For example, consider what you want your life to look like a year from now. What habits would the best version of yourself practice? Start incorporating those habits into your mornings. One powerful shift is to wake up earlier. Rising just 30 minutes or an hour earlier than usual gives you the gift of quiet, uninterrupted time. This is your opportunity to connect with your goals, your thoughts, and your inner self before the noise of the world creeps in. Use this time to ground yourself, whether it's journaling, meditating, exercising, or planning your day. These moments of stillness can create clarity and focus. Another essential part of starting your day with intention is having a clear purpose for each morning. Why are you waking up? What do you want to accomplish today? This doesn't have to be something grand. It could be as simple as deciding to show up fully for your commitments or taking one small step toward a long-term goal. When you wake up with a purpose, your energy shifts. Instead of dragging yourself out of bed, you feel motivated because you know your actions matter. One habit that has transformed mornings for countless successful individuals is gratitude. When you take a few moments to reflect on what you're grateful for, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. This simple practice can change how you approach the day. Gratitude reminds you of what's working in your life, even if things aren't perfect. It builds a positive momentum that carries you through challenges and keeps you focused on opportunities instead of obstacles. Another way to add intention to your mornings is through visualization. Spend a few minutes each day picturing yourself achieving your goals. Imagine what it feels like to succeed. See yourself thriving, handling challenges with grace, and living the life you desire. Visualization isn't just daydreaming. It's a mental rehearsal that trains your brain to recognize opportunities and stay aligned with your purpose. When you combine visualization with action, you create a powerful formula for success. Let's not forget about your body. The way you treat your body in the morning affects your energy, focus, and mood for the rest of the day. Drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up can rehydrate you and jumpstart your metabolism. Adding movement to your morning, whether it's stretching, yoga, a brisk walk, or a full workout, can increase your energy levels and boost your mental clarity. When you care for your body, you're not just investing in your health, you're signaling to yourself that you value your well-being. And then there's the power of focus. Take time each morning to prioritize your tasks. What are the 3 most important things you need to accomplish today? Write them down. This simple act of planning can turn a chaotic day into a productive one. When you know what matters most, you can spend your energy wisely instead of getting lost in distractions. Starting your day with intention doesn't mean every morning will go perfectly. Life happens and sometimes things won't go as planned. But what matters is consistency. Over time, these small intentional actions compound, creating massive results. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Each day you start with purpose brings you one step closer to the life you want to build. When you commit to starting your day intentionally, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel more in control, more energized, and more aligned with your goals. The mornings will no longer feel rushed or chaotic. Instead, they'll become a sacred time, a time to invest in yourself, plan your future, and set the stage for success. This single habit can change your perspective, your energy, and ultimately your life. Mastering the art of small wins is one of the most powerful ways to transform your life, and it starts with a simple truth. Big changes don't happen overnight, but small, consistent actions build unstoppable momentum. Too often, people set lofty goals and expect instant results. When progress feels slow, they lose motivation and give up. But success isn't about giant leaps, it's about small steps taken every day. Each small win, no matter how minor it may seem, is a building block for a larger victory. The beauty of small wins lies in their accessibility. They're achievable, manageable, and within your control. When you focus on accomplishing something small, it gives you a sense of progress and confidence. That feeling of achievement creates positive energy that propels you forward. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. What starts as a small effort gradually gains momentum and turns into something much bigger over time. Small wins also create a pattern of consistency. Imagine deciding to improve your fitness. You don't need to commit to running a marathon on your first day. Instead, you start by walking for 10 minutes. That small action might seem insignificant, but over time, those 10-minute walks can evolve into 30-minute runs. By showing up consistently and honoring those small commitments, you're building a habit that leads to long-term success. The key to making small wins work is to break down your goals into bite-sized pieces. Let's say you want to write a book. Instead of worrying about completing an entire manuscript, focus on writing 1 page a day. That's a small win. Over the course of a year, that daily effort could add up to a finished book. When you break big goals into smaller tasks, they feel less overwhelming and more attainable. One of the greatest benefits of small wins is how they change your mindset. Each time you achieve something, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that progress is possible. That belief is powerful because it shifts your focus from what's not working to what is. It trains your brain to see opportunities instead of obstacles. This shift in perspective creates a positive feedback loop. The more wins you experience, the more motivated you feel to keep going. Another reason small wins are so effective is that they build trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you're proving to yourself that you're reliable and capable. This trust is essential for long-term success. When you trust yourself, you're more likely to set bigger goals and take risks because you've developed the confidence that you can handle them. It's important to celebrate these small victories along the way. Acknowledging your progress reinforces your efforts and makes the journey enjoyable. Too often, people overlook their achievements because they're fixated on the end goal. But success isn't just about reaching the destination, it's about the journey and the growth that happens along the way. Celebrating small wins reminds you to appreciate how far you've come, even if you're not where you want to be yet. Small wins also have a ripple effect. When you accomplish one thing, it inspires you to tackle the next. For example, if you start your day by making your bed, that small act of discipline can create a sense of order and accomplishment. That feeling might motivate you to organize your workspace or tackle a challenging task. One win leads to another, creating a chain reaction of positive actions. The beauty of focusing on small wins is that it's a strategy anyone can apply, regardless of their circumstances. You don't need special resources, talent, or a perfect plan to start. All you need is the willingness to take one small step forward each day. Over time, those small steps accumulate, leading to results that once seemed impossible. Mastering the art of small wins is about embracing the process and trusting that the little things you do consistently will add up to big changes. It's about showing up, even when progress feels slow, and believing in the power of incremental improvement. When you commit to the small wins, you'll find that success is not only possible, it's inevitable. Feeding your mind with positivity is one of the most transformative habits you can develop. Just as your body depends on the food you eat for energy and health, your mind thrives on the thoughts, ideas, and influences you expose it to. What you allow into your mind shapes your perspective, your attitude, and ultimately the decisions you make. If you want to change your life, you must first change what you feed your mind. In today's world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by negativity. The news, social media, and even casual conversations often focus on problems, challenges, and conflicts. While staying informed is important, dwelling on negativity can drain your energy and cloud your vision. That's why it's crucial to consciously choose what you consume. Positivity is not something that happens by accident. It's a choice you make every single day. One of the best ways to feed your mind with positivity is through the power of personal development. Books, podcasts, and videos from thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and motivational speakers can inspire you to think bigger and aim higher. These resources are like fuel for your mind. They remind you of what's possible, challenge you to grow, and provide strategies for overcoming obstacles. Whether it's a book that teaches you a new skill or a podcast that shifts your mindset, every positive input makes a difference. Another powerful habit is surrounding yourself with positive people. The energy of the people you interact with directly influences your own. If you spend time with individuals who are encouraging, optimistic, and solution-oriented, their attitudes will rub off on you. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by negativity and doubt, it becomes much harder to stay motivated and confident. Choose to spend time with people who uplift you, challenge you in a healthy way, and support your growth. Gratitude is another essential element of feeding your mind with positivity. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your attention away from what's lacking or wrong in your life. Gratitude trains your brain to see abundance instead of scarcity. Start each day by listing 3 things you're thankful for, no matter how small. It could be a supportive friend, a moment of peace, or even a warm cup of coffee. This simple practice can transform your mindset and set the tone for a positive day. And be mindful of your self-talk as well. The way you speak to yourself matters more than you might realize. Negative self-talk can create doubt, fear, and insecurity, while positive self-talk can build confidence, resilience, and determination. Instead of criticizing yourself for mistakes, focus on what you've learned and how you'll improve. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I'll figure this out. These small shifts in language can have a profound impact on your mindset. Another way to feed your mind with positivity is by focusing on solutions rather than problems. Challenges are inevitable, but how you approach them is entirely up to you. When faced with a difficulty, train yourself to ask, what's the next step? Or what can I do to move forward? This solution-oriented mindset keeps you proactive and optimistic, even in the face of adversity. It's also important to create boundaries with negative influences. This might mean limiting your exposure to certain types of media, avoiding gossip, or taking a break from social media. If something consistently leaves you feeling drained, anxious, or discouraged, it's worth evaluating whether it's adding value to your life. Protecting your mental space is an act of self-care that allows positivity to flourish. Finally, remember that positivity is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what's good, what's possible, and what you can control. It's about recognizing that while you can't always change your circumstances, you can always change your perspective. Feeding your mind with positivity is a daily practice. It requires intention, discipline, and consistency. Over time, the positive inputs you choose will reshape your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. You'll find yourself approaching challenges with confidence, embracing opportunities with enthusiasm, and inspiring others with your attitude. When you feed your mind with positivity, you're not just changing the way you think, you're changing the way you live. Auditing your environment is one of the most impactful steps you can take to transform your life. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your thoughts, habits, and actions. It influences your mood, energy levels, and the way you perceive opportunities and challenges. Often we underestimate just how much our surroundings affect us, but when you take the time to intentionally evaluate and adjust your environment, the changes can be profound. Your physical space is a reflection of your mindset, and it can either support or hinder your growth. A cluttered and disorganized space often leads to a cluttered and disorganized mind. When your environment is chaotic, it's harder to focus, make decisions, and feel motivated. Start by looking around the spaces where you spend the most time, your home, your workspace, your car. Ask yourself, does this space inspire me? Does it make me feel energized and focused? If not, it's time to make some changes. Begin with decluttering. Let go of the things that no longer serve you. This isn't just about physical items, it's also about clearing mental and emotional clutter. When you create a clean, organized space, you're giving yourself room to think, breathe, and create. A minimalist, intentional environment allows your mind to focus on what truly matters instead of being distracted by unnecessary chaos. Next, consider the people you surround yourself with. The individuals you spend the most time with have a profound impact on your mindset and behavior. There's a popular saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If the people in your life are negative, unmotivated, or unsupportive, their energy will inevitably influence you. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are positive, driven, and encouraging, you'll find yourself adopting their habits and attitudes. Take stock of your relationships. Are the people around you helping you grow or holding you back? This doesn't mean you need to cut people out of your life entirely, but you may need to set boundaries or limit your exposure to those who drain your energy. At the same time, seek out individuals who inspire you, challenge you in a positive way, and support your goals. These relationships are like fertilizer for your personal growth. They help you thrive. Your digital environment is another area that deserves attention. In today's connected world, we're constantly surrounded by information, much of which can be overwhelming or negative. Audit your social media feeds, the news you consume, and the content you engage with. Are these inputs uplifting and inspiring, or do they leave you feeling stressed and discouraged? Unfollow accounts that don't add value to your life and replace them with content that motivates you, educates you, or brings you joy. It's also important to create an environment that encourages productive habits. If you want to read more, place books in visible, easily accessible spots. If you're trying to exercise regularly, keep your workout clothes and equipment ready to go. Your environment should make it easier for you to follow through on your intentions. Small adjustments like organizing your workspace or preparing for your day the night before can make a big difference in your ability to stay consistent. Lighting, colors, and even scents can influence your mood and energy. Bright natural light promotes focus and positivity, while dim or harsh lighting can make you feel tired or unmotivated. Colors like blue and green are calming, while red and orange can energize you. Experiment with your space to find what works best for you. A pleasant scent like lavender for relaxation or citrus for energy can also create a positive atmosphere. Remember that auditing your environment is not a one-time task, it's an ongoing process. As your goals and priorities evolve, so should your surroundings. Regularly evaluate what's working and what's not. Be willing to make changes as needed to ensure that your environment continues to support your growth. Ultimately, your environment should be a reflection of the life you want to create. When you take control of your surroundings, you're taking control of your future. By surrounding yourself with positivity, organization, and inspiration, you're setting yourself up for success. Small changes in your environment can lead to big changes in your mindset, habits, and outcomes. Ending your day with reflection is one of the most powerful habits you can develop for personal growth and success. It's a simple yet profound practice that allows you to pause, look back on the day, and extract valuable lessons from your experiences. In our fast-paced lives, it's easy to move from one day to the next without ever taking the time to truly process what happened. But when you make reflection a daily habit, you create a space for growth, awareness, and intentional improvement. Reflection begins with the question, how did the day go? This isn't about judging yourself or dwelling on mistakes. It's about honest evaluation. Look at the events of the day with curiosity rather than criticism. What went well? What didn't go as planned? What did you learn? These questions are not just about identifying wins or losses. They're about understanding the underlying patterns in your behavior, decisions, and outcomes. One of the greatest benefits of daily reflection is that it helps you celebrate your progress. Too often we're so focused on the big picture or the next milestone that we forget to acknowledge the small wins along the way. Taking a moment to recognize what you did well reinforces positive behavior and builds confidence. It reminds you that you're moving forward, even if progress feels slow. These celebrations, no matter how small, create motivation to keep going. Reflection also allows you to identify areas for improvement. Every mistake or setback carries a lesson if you're willing to look for it. When you reflect on what didn't go as planned, you're not just pinpointing problems, you're uncovering opportunities to grow. For example, if you realize you procrastinated on an important task, you can explore why that happened. Were you overwhelmed? Lacking clarity? Distracted? By understanding the root cause, you can make adjustments to avoid repeating the same mistake. Another key aspect of ending your day with reflection is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. Reflect on the moments, people, and opportunities that brought you joy or support during the day. It could be something as simple as a kind word from a colleague, a moment of quiet in your busy schedule, or the satisfaction of completing a task. Gratitude not only fosters a positive mindset, but also helps you approach the next day with a sense of appreciation and possibility. Reflection isn't just about looking back, it's also about looking forward. Use what you've learned to set intentions for tomorrow. What will you do differently? What will you carry forward? This forward-thinking approach turns reflection into a tool for action. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Each day becomes a stepping stone guided by the lessons of the one before it. Writing your reflections down can amplify their impact. Journaling provides a tangible record of your thoughts, progress, and growth. It allows you to spot patterns over time and see how far you've come. When you put your reflections into words, you give structure to your thoughts, making them easier to understand and act on. Even just 5 minutes of journaling before bed can create clarity and focus. Reflection also helps you end the day on a note of closure. Instead of carrying the stress, unfinished tasks, or unresolved emotions into the night, you can process and release them. This mental clearing allows you to sleep better and wake up feeling refreshed. You'll start the next day with a clean slate, ready to tackle new challenges with energy and purpose. It's important to approach reflection with kindness and self-compassion. The goal is not to be perfect, but to grow. Some days will be better than others, and that's okay. Celebrate your efforts, learn from your experiences, and give yourself grace when things don't go as planned. Remember, the act of reflecting itself is a sign of progress. It shows that you're committed to improving and living intentionally. When you make reflection a consistent part of your routine, it becomes a tool for transformation. You'll gain a deeper understanding of yourself, your goals, and the path you're on. You'll become more intentional in your actions, more resilient in the face of challenges, and more appreciative of the journey. Ending your day with reflection is more than a habit. It's a gift you give yourself, one that keeps you growing, learning, and moving closer to the life you want to create.